All right, I'm going to make a video about the scan tool that I have and show you some of the functionality and how to plug it in and stuff. And I unplugged a sensor, so we will have a code so we can look at that and the freeze frame data and just a little bit about this scan tool. So this is the scan tool. Obviously it's a Mac Tools, but really this is made by a company called Launch that really, from what I understand, they started by making scan tools that really worked for European vehicles, mostly. At least that was the impression that I had. But it's a decent scan tool. I think it was on sale. I think I paid about $100 for it. And they're a lot cheaper now, and I think they're probably better now. So I'm going to show you where to plug it in first. Oh, and this is a great flashlight. If you're in the market for a flashlight, I think they're spendy. I know a Streamlight rep, so I kind of lucked out. So I'm going to put the flashlight down here so you can see where to plug it in. So that right there is the data link connector. You can see that it's wider on one side and more narrow on the other. And then here's the plug on the end of the scan tool. So generally I can't see it, but I know what it feels like, so I just feel around until I feel it. And now it's plugged in. So it turned on because it gets its power from the vehicle. So now I turned the key on into the position, the on position, which is when all the lights light up for 2 seconds, then most will shut back off. So on this scan tool, when I push exit, it goes to the main menu for some reason. And then you can see it has diagnostic codes, data stream, special tests, code lookup, and tool setup. So checking and clearing codes is what you're going to do the most. So I'm going to hit enter for that. And I want to read codes. So now it's communicating with the vehicle. So this is in generic mode. We learned a little bit about generic and manufacturer-specific scan tools. This is in generic mode. So my code is P0032, heated oxygen sensor control circuit high, and that's because I unplugged it to get a code. It says code 1 of 2 right here. So if I press down, I'll see the other code. And it's the same code. So now I'm going to exit. And then freeze frame data. This is when the millisecond that the code sets, it stores the data that it's logging at that time. So you can see exactly what was happening when the code set, so you can more likely recreate that situation to make the code set again. So we'll go in here. So it says what the trouble code is. It says it's in open loop. You'll learn more about that in the second fuel injection class. The load was 31%. Coolant temp was 21 degrees Celsius, and that's just the temperature it is outside. It's in Celsius. I should switch that to Fahrenheit. The fuel trim, short term was 0%. Long term was 16%. You'll learn more about that in fuel injection class. There's the manifold pressure, the engine speed. It was at a high idle because I had just started it up. Vehicle speed, it was not moving. Ignition timing was at 10.5 degrees. Intake air temp was 17 degrees Celsius. Throttle position was 16%, which is, I believe it's closed, but we can actually check that. So that's the code and the freeze frame data. I might actually stop this and make a second video so they're not too long. So I'll do that. So that's the end of that video, and I'll do another one here in a second.